Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In the last video, we talked about KeepAlived and VRRP. I have explained what is VRRP and how we can use KeepAlived to make our service high available. If you have not watched part 1, you can find the link in the video description. In this part, I'll show you how to install and configure KeepAlived. Let's start by KeepAlived installation. It has very straightforward installation. I'm using Rocky Linux 8 for our installation, and we can use DNF or yum to install KeepAlived. KeepAlived is also available on other operating systems too. For example, for Debian, just a quick apt-get install command and you're good to go. So now let's connect to our server and install KeepAlived. You need to do this step on all 2 or 3 servers. Here we have 3 Camilio servers that we want to make them high available, so I need to run the command on all 3 servers. I'm using Rocky Linux 8, so I can use the yum install KeepAlived. Of course, I have already installed KeepAlived on my system, so as you can see, there is nothing to do. But if you have not installed, it will automatically download and install KeepAlived for you. Next step is to go to the default KeepAlived configuration folder. We have a configuration file, keepalived.conf. Let's back up that one by using the cp command, cp keepalived.conf to keepalived.conf. Let's name it default. It's always good to back up the default configuration, so later if you want to revert back and read some configuration comments and get an idea, you have access to that. You should do the same steps on all 3 servers. Okay, now that we have our KeepAlived installed and we back up our KeepAlived configuration file, let's create keepalived.conf file. Of course, your configuration file will be empty here, but I prepared a minimum sample file that will explain what are the elements here, and you can use this configuration file in your server. The very first line is the VRRP instance and instance name. I just name it Omid. This marks the startup VRRP instance configuration block. It's like creating a distinct section for our configuration. Next one is a state. That in our first server, that this is our first Camilio server, we need to set as master. Here we declare the state of this instance as master. It's the leader in the charge of our VoIP address. So when we bring up our cluster, this will be the server that will have the virtual IP address. Next one is interface. Here we specify that this instance, VRRP instance Omid, is operating on interface ENS18. My machine has one interface here. If I run IPADR, or ifconfig, I have just one network interface, and the network interface name is ENS18. But imagine you have a Linux box with multiple network interface, and you want this high availability and VIP run on the one of these interfaces. That's where you define which interface this instance should run on. Next item is virtual router ID. This assigns a unique router ID to this VRRP instance. This should be unique all over our servers. So we have 3 Camilio servers. When we configure them, this virtual router ID should be the same in all 3 servers. Next element is priority. Master should have the higher priority, and the higher number means that machine will take responsibility next. For example, here I have 3 Camilio servers, Camilio 1, 2, and 3. The first one has Camilio 101. Second one has the second Camilio has priority 100, and the third one has 99. It means that if the first one goes down, then the second server with higher priority, that is my second Camellia server with priority 100, will take the control. And if the second service goes down, then the next highest priority server will take over. Advertise interval. The advertisement interval is set to 1 second. This is how often our instance announces its presence. So I can say this is how many seconds to sync up with the other servers. Next element is about how these servers should communicate with each other. If you remember, in the first video I explained about ARP and how this VRRP works. So the three Camellia servers can communicate with each other using broadcast. It means that they send the request to all the network, but you can limit that. You can limit this instance to just unicast to the servers that you want. Here I have 3 servers. 0.201, that is my current server. 202 and 203, that is the second Camellia and third Camellia. So here, by setting the unicast source IP and unicast peer IP addresses, I'm telling that I want these messages just to be sent to these specific IP addresses. Next section defines the authentication settings. Auth type is set to pass, indicating a password-based authentication method. And the authentication password is the password that these servers will use to authenticate themselves to each other. And finally, virtual IP address is where we specify our virtual IP address. The virtual IP address is set to 192.168.0.200 with a subnet mask of 24. So in a nutshell, this configuration creates a VRRP instance named Omid with the master role. It operates on the ENS18 interface, communicates with unicast, and uses password-based authentication. The virtual IP address is 192.168.0.200. The next step is to configure other servers. In order to do that, the easiest way is to copy the KeepAlived configuration file to the other Linux servers. Here, my second Rocky Linux 8 is 192.168.0.202, and we copy into etc KeepAlived folder. And also I will copy it to the third server, that is 0.203. And let's connect to the second server first, 192.168.0.202. Go to configuration folder, cd etc KeepAlived, edit the KeepAlived.d configuration file. What we need to change here is first priority. As I said, the second server should have a lower priority and a priority of 100. The unicast IP address is its own box IP address, so it is 202, and it wants to unicast peer to 201, my first server, and 203. And of course the virtual IP address is the same, and the password should be the same. So we save the file, and now we can connect to the third server, 203. So you see it is the KeepAlived. Edit the KeepAlived configuration file. Change the priority to 99 because this is our third server. Unicast source IP address to 203, and it wants to send to 201. 1 and 202. We save the file. And now what we need to do is to start the KeepAlived service on all three servers. So I will start with my main server, that is Rocky Linux 801. I will run the systemctl start KeepAlived. We can now connect to the second server. And again, systemctl start KeepAlived. And now let's connect to the third server. And systemctl start KeepAlived. Okay, now KeepAlived is started. Let's see if we have. I'm back on my first server again, and if I type systemctl status KeepAlived, I will see this is active and running. And here you can see that it's sending ARP via ENS18 for this IP address. So it means that the IP address is active here. In order to verify that, you can use IP addr command. You will see a lot of entries here. You can easily, to show better, grep to 192. And you can see here our first Rocky Linux system has two IP addresses. One of them is the actually normal IP address that it has on its first interface, and the second one is the virtual IP address that we have defined in the KeepAlived. In order to test our configuration, we can connect to all three servers. Here is my first server, and if I do IPADR grep192, you can see that the VoIP is already set here. And if I do it on the second server, the same command, it doesn't have VoIP. Let's run it with watch-n1. It will run this command every 1 second. And let's reboot the first server. As we are rebooting the first server, the VoIP is assigned to the second server, to the RL802. Let's test again. We run the same command on the third server. As you can see, it doesn't have any IP address, and I'm rebooting the second server. And you can see the VoIP address is assigned to the our third server. So this is how it switches the IP addresses, and always our service is available. Of course, here we have the very basic configuration that it's just has high availability based on the IP address. It means that if I reboot this service and if the network is not available, then it will switch. But we can put a configuration here to be sensitive to a service or to a file or any other changes. As you can see, it's already back because my first server is up. As my first server is up, then it will switch back to the first server. So what I want to say, what we want to achieve is to enable the KeepAlived and configure the KeepAlived in a way that, for example, if I have a problem with my Camellia service, then it's switched to the other system. Or if I have a problem with my database service, or if something is not right about, for example, my web server, then it switches. And we don't want just to be active based on the IP address, because now I just need to reboot so that it switches. That's what we can do in different methods in the KeepAlived, and that's what we will discuss in part 3 of this video series. I hope this video is useful, and if you have any question, please put in the comments of this video. Thank you, and see you in the next video.